He ran everywhere. He laughed all the time, always smiling. He was just a light and lighting up your day. It was my little man. At one point, I felt like I had no other friend in the world but him.
What are you saying, Khalil? What are you saying, buddy?
He was a lot of fun. I bought him a little Power Wheel car, and he would drive that all day, even until the battery went out, and he was still sitting in that like he was driving. But his mother would come around every once in a while. It was just me. He lived with me. He would go stay a few days with her all weekend, and he would come back to my house. And then all the different things started happening, the bruises and stuff. That's when I was concerned. I didn't want him to go back with her. It was a Friday. I was at work, and I had just gotten my lunch. As I'm walking back, her mother calls me. And she asked me, had I seen Khalil? No, I haven't seen him. He's been with his mom. She says, okay. And I say probably about an hour later, she calls me back about 10 times in a row. What happened to his face? I just told you an hour ago I haven't seen him. So she sends me some pictures of him. So immediately I called my mama, called my brothers. We was gonna go see about them bruises that night. When she's thinking that she's coming to pick him up, but we were gonna all pretty much confront her about it. And that went horribly wrong. All she did was complain about me not doing anything for him. And one member of her family cut her off and said, well, he lives with him. So what is he not doing for him? Like the fact that he's alive and putting on weight should tell you that he's doing something for him. And she would never answer the questions. And we eventually realized we weren't getting anywhere. So I took my son, I left. Saturday we go to the zoo, but he wouldn't let me put him down. It was kind of odd because he would try to slap your hand away if you tried to pick him up. It was kind of like a sign that I was missing. He couldn't explain it, but he knew I was going to protect him. So Monday comes and I get another call from my mom, and she's like, you need to come to the hospital. Khalil's in the hospital. So when I go, 5 officers follow me into a room. They tell me he didn't make it. I was like, is he on the way? What you mean he didn't make it? He'll be here in a little bit? Like, no, we tried to revive him, we couldn't. Revive him from what? He was perfect. Nothing wrong with him. So it broke my heart, I cried. Her family members kept trying to talk to me and ask me what I did. What did I do to him? And I'm like, I haven't seen him in 2 days. What could I have done to him? And it's like confused me. I'm hurt and confused. And they wouldn't let me see him. They wouldn't let me see his body. Because he's now evidence. So along with my hurt and confusion, I can't see him or hold him. I wasn't even there for him to see me to see if he's alright or not. Because I was his protector, and I couldn't protect him. She said Monday they woke up and he was real lethargic. He didn't want to move, which is unusual for him because he wakes up and he doesn't stop running until he lays back down at night. Her boyfriend took him outside, and he came back in the house and sat down and just died. That was her story. And he just sat down and died. When they got the homicide report back, he called both sides of the family, and we all got the same news at the same time. He told us it was a homicide. I knew we weren't leaving without somebody being arrested. He went over the details of the autopsy and the medical examiner's report. But then he got to one key part of it where he asked her, he had been with you and your boyfriend all morning, right? And he gave her a chance to answer. She said yes. And he asked her boyfriend the same question. He also said yes. So then he stops and he picks up a piece of paper. On his paper it says Khalil's injuries occurred 30 minutes before he died. Now, I've already confirmed there was nobody else around you. It was just you two with him. And he died in this manner from kicks and or punches. And he listed off all the different injuries, how it happened, how he suffered. And he said, now our persons of interest have moved to suspects in the homicide of Khalil. And immediately, Khalil's mother started defending her boyfriend. And the detective asked her, "You rather defend your boyfriend than pursue justice for your son?" Here's the facts. Here's what happened. The district attorney tells me, "We know the suspects. We can't figure out if it was him or her." Tough luck, man. We sorry. I was dumbfounded. Are you serious? You just named all the facts. You just named the suspects. You just named what happened. And nothing. It made me lose a lot of faith in our justice system. And now I have a lot of anger. A lot of distrust, a lot of mood swings. At that point, I'm not saying I wanted to kill myself or anything. I just didn't care about life. I didn't go back to my apartment for weeks. One of my good friends, he would come over here, even though I wouldn't talk to him. I would just sit there and stare into space. He came over here, and he would just sit with me for hours. He would sit for hours and he would leave. He would come back. He'd come see me. And that's where I'm at. Hurt, angry. I want justice. It's just human nature to protect this child. And y'all both didn't. A lot of times I have a hard time deciphering whether I'm dreaming or I'm awake. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. This can't be real. At one point I felt like he was going to be something amazing to not just me, but people around him, maybe to this country, maybe something amazing, like remembered more than I was. Because I just knew he was that great. My shining star, my reason, what I'm proud of is ripped out of my life.